But let's begin with the Ghana Premier League. Kotoko visited RTU. RTU were back playing in the Tamale Sports Stadium for the first time since their ban. And it was packed to capacity. The money they would have made from the huge crowd that showed up for the game. But they would be even happier with the valuable 3 points they got from Kotoko.
There's Fabio Gama for Kotoko. Now comes Asma. With a cross and a Tuga. Lovely skill to go past Buedu. He goes down in the box from the challenge of Asma and it's a penalty.
What instinctively a lot of defenders are going to do, they're going to use their body once they can get to the ball too. But it's a huge barrage on this man. Anywhere else on the pitch, I think.
Augustine, Ronald Frimpong steps up and he makes it 1-0 for RTU. Real Tamale United up by 1-0.
It's a very, very composed and well-taken spot kick.
Here is Gama. Now Sharif. It's Patrick Asma against the woodwork again. And now whistles for the end of the first half. Franklin Akumate separating the two sides as Kotoko gets us going for second half football. It's Sharif Mohammed whose long searching pass is met by Hadir Mohammed. Hadir's cross. Edu's header. And it's a second goal for RTU. Victor Edu has made it 2-0.
He's been brilliant with judging the flights of the balls, that lad. But that was so wrong a decision to make. Not the best of headers, not the most powerful header from Victor Edu.
Sadat Mohammed has lost the ball to Sharif Mohammed. Now here comes a Tuga. He goes down, it's a penalty. Kotoko with an opportunity to halve the deficit, is a penalty. Up against Yao-Sei. Here comes a Tuga. He's reduced the deficit. It's RTU 2, Kotoko 1.
If he gets this right, it's a really good spot kick from a Tuga. And now Kotoko are within 1.
We're in the final moments of this game. Abagna! That was close from Abagna. And it's the final whistle.
All right, valuable 3 points for RTU. In a moment, we'll show you what that does for them as far as the league table is concerned. But for now, let me show you the other results from match week 25 of the Ghana Premier League. So, Aduana Stars were held by Ashanti Gold. Bibiani Gold Stars, 2-1 winners over Great Olympics. Wonders beat Bechem United 3-2. This result is significant because Bechem United were second in the Ghana Premier League table going into this weekend, 8 points behind Kotoko. Now, when Kotoko were losing 2-0, Bechem United were up 2-1. Somehow, they lost by 3-2. 2 late goals from Wonders, sinking them into Chiman. Karela United alternated against Dreams FC. Hearts of Oak against the bottom place team in the Ghana Premier League. Cannot get a win. 1-1 draw in Accra. Ken Faisal, that's an 8th successive defeat in all competitions for them now. They lost at home to Accra Lions. Legon City's 3-1 winners over Midiama. So Midiama themselves, things not going great. RTU's victory there. And Wafa finally also getting a win. 3-2 win against Brecum Chelsea. Now listen to this. Not one, let's take a look at the table first. Not one of the top 6 won a game today. Kotoko lost, Bechem lost, Aduana Stars drew, Olympics lost, Midiama lost, Hearts of Oak drew. Unbelievable. But you see, so Bechem United, it still remains 8 points between them and Kotoko. If they had held on to that lead, would have probably the lead would have been cut to 5 points, and suddenly we would have had a title race on our hands. But it appears that's not going to happen. It's still an 8 point gap between Kotoko and Bechem United. The bottom, though, RTU's victory today is taking them 28 points, level on points with 11 Wonders. So they are very close to getting out of that relegation zone, as you can see. But so are Wafa, who are just 2 points away from safety. So the competition, the real competition this season is at the bottom of, and to determine who goes down or who stays up, because that is incredibly tight. Because from RTU in the relegation zone all the way up to the team in 10th position is 5 points. It's that tight. 5 points is 2.5 games, or 2 matches if you like. Unbelievable. Daniel, let me begin with you. Very unforgivable mistake from Danlad for RTU's second goal. Kotoko wouldn't have liked that, but Bechem United didn't do themselves any favors, and now suddenly that loss looks like nothing.
Yeah, at all, and especially from a Bechem point of view, because of the timing of the goals they conceded. And you see, at this stage of the season, you always have an ear out for what is happening in the other grounds. And I'm sure they would have known that Kotoko were losing against RTU. 10 minutes to go. A team that is chasing the title should be able to kill off this game, should be able to see off this game, especially against a relegation-threatened side. Yeah. You could tell that 11 Wonders just threw all bodies forward. And when that happens and you are a team at the top of the table, it's more of an advantage. That's how I see it. It's more of an advantage to you when you have your opposition or your opponents coming all out against you. Because then it's either you catch them on a counter-attack, you can decide to pass the ball around, which they can do, and they've shown that they can do. They have their experience to pass the ball around and diffuse any...
There's a lot of experience in that team.
Yeah, it's, a momentum that the opposition has. But unfortunately for that, I don't know how that happened, honestly. It's very shocking that 11 Wonders were able to turn it around in the dying embers of the game. 90th minute, I think 2-2, and then in another time, they had a third and claim all 3 points. Because it's very disappointing from a Bechem point of view that they were not able to capitalize on this. And I'm saying the timing because if Kotoko were losing at the same time Bechem was losing, then you know that it was, okay, fine. They just didn't play well. But to have a 2-1 lead with 10 minutes to go, or in fact, if I even narrow it down to about 6 minutes to go, the 2-1 lead, valuable 2-1 lead. That was,
and they would have known that Kotoko were losing.
Exactly, because at this point, that's what I mean. At this
in
point,
real time,
you always have an ear out to what is happening elsewhere.
Live score.
So look, for them to let these valuable 3 points slip, it's very disappointing because this would have been 5 points, and then it sets up a crunch end to the season where Kotoko themselves have a couple of difficult grounds to go to, and you never know what is going to happen. But they've really let Kotoko off the hook. They themselves didn't play too well today. They were all over the place, especially the goalkeeper. And this is why I feel like sometimes we need to take our time when we are screaming for players to be included in the Black Stars. First of all, the standard of the Ghana Premier League is not up there for us to be insisting that players get them.
I don't know what he was trying to do there, to be honest. It's
for
such a basic...
there
was no way he was getting to the ball.
Poor decision making.
I can't even say it's poor judgment. I just had no idea what he was doing. Honestly, coach.
At all.
He is that type of goalkeeper. If you follow Danlad,
he's rushed.
He's rushed, but he hardly comes out to dominate his area. Mm-hmm. If you followed him, maybe this is one of the reasons why he hardly comes, even at the junior level. When the team concedes,
what's his biggest strength? His reflexes?
I think his reflexes are his biggest strength. But when it comes to anticipating on these very difficult crosses, stay, don't stay. So he's always taking the decision that I'm not going to come out, I'll stay. And this again has highlighted why he's never been the sort of goalkeeper who usually come out to dominate his area, duels and all that. Because look, this was absolutely kindergarten. It's unforgivable. If I'm the manager, I look at it and say, look, maybe you want to pardon him because he hardly does these things. Yeah. But you want to quickly draw his attention that no sort of mistake like that again will go unpunished. And there are times where you have to set the rules that look, because if you look at the one deputizing for him, he was also a national, or he's also a national goalkeeper. Yeah, he nearly took us to the Olympic Games. If our player had scored that, if he had put that ball in the back of the net.
It's not just one. It's not that. We have two penalty shoots to do it.
The semi-final
and Komiba made saves to take us to that. Yeah. And so if he's the one deputizing for Danlad should be made aware that, look, the position or the Kotoko number one's position is not home and dry. You flop, you're on the bench. The next goalkeeper is brought on to stake a claim for himself. I want to comment on Kim Faisal. I'm a bit worried.
Yeah.
Very, very worried. Because if you look at
The first round,
the manner in which they keep going down, like you said, 8
consecutive defeats in all competitions.
In all competitions.
7 in the league.
7 in the league.
7 in the league. If they don't put a halt to that, I think they'll be drawn to a relegation fight. In fact, as it stands, they're already involved because they have 21, RTU 28, Wafa 26. I am beginning to believe that maybe they'll be the one to be relegated because if you look at
last season, they escaped by the skin of their teeth.
You cannot be 2 times lucky. Not at the top flight of football in a country. You cannot be. So the earlier, I think I've heard Elijah Gruza say they brought him a new coach, a white, an expatriate to come and stabilize the ship.
Because that's why, and there has to be a reason why Nuruddin Amadou would leave.
Exactly.
Because he started brilliantly with this team.
Brilliantly. What has gone wrong? There are times where the owners and bankrollers of our football teams are to understand that, look, yes, the team is yours, but you should leave the footballing decision to those in charge of football
managers.
And stop poking your noses into technical and tactical matters.
Coach, brief comment on Frank Etuga. He's now scored 17 goals. He's equaled Eric Bequin's record for Kotoko in the 07-08 season.
That's it.
And he's still got 25 games now, so he's still got 9 matches left. The record is 22 matches, 22 goals, by Ishmael Ado in the 2002 season. From the look of things,
I think he could break that.
Yeah.
All things being equal, he could break that. First and foremost, he scored lots of goals from open play, and from the manner in which Kotoko seems to be getting all sort of penalties, especially at Baba Yara, you won't bet against him.
Come on,
I will say it.
Like today, that was a clear.
That was a clear.
Did
you hear what I said?
You said especially at Baba Yara. And
this is not Baba Yara.
Yes, but they still got a penalty.
And
so I'm saying that penalty is a penalty. And that is irrespective of where.
No, come on, it matters. That is why I specifically said the manner in which they've been.
What's the manner?
Oh, like the what we saw last week against House of Oak.
That's not their fault.
I'm not blaming them for being given penalties. And I'm saying the manner in which penalties are flowing all over the place. Look, let's call a spade a spade. Some of the penalties are deserving of that.
Yes.
Some too.
Like what we saw. Like what we saw.
Exactly.
Against RT.
Exactly.
Clear penalty.
Clear penalty. Last week, it was a
not
bad
so clear.
penalty. No, don't say not so clear. This one, very clear. Last week,
not so clear.
Bad penalty to be
What's
given.
the opposite of clear?
What do you mean not so clear? What is that? When you say not so clear, it is clear, but it's not clear. That's what it means, isn't it? I mean, you are the English people.
Yes.
When you say not so clear, at least somebody can come and say, oh, this one is clear. To me, it's clear. And to me, it's not so clear.
I have negated it.
And I'm saying that.
Not is negating
clear. Not clear. That's clear.
When you say not so clear, there's a problem. There's an issue there. So, the fact of the matter, for me, if it is a penalty, if it is not a penalty. So there's nothing that. So like I'm saying, but look,
credit to your own.
The record is within sight.
Yeah.
I think the people at Kotoko should be reminding him of that.
Because 5 goals left, 9 matches.
Yes. If I'm the manager, I will invite him to my office tomorrow morning and clearly show him the record and say, come on, I think in 9 games, as a manager, I'm not going to bet against you.
But no, whatever happens, obviously we also need to give Ishmael Ado a lot of credit because he did it in a 16-team league.
Yes.
This is an 18-team league. So that's what even makes that record incredible.
I think 4 games.
It's absolutely incredible. But all credit to Frank Etuga. He's had a brilliant season so far. Even if he doesn't break the record, we'll still respect him. He's now the highest goal scorer. He's not equal Kotoko's highest goal tally in a 16-team season. That record was held by Eric Bequin. So congratulations.
After how many games?
Today?
Yeah.
Out of the 24, I think he's played 22 matches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's not played.
So he's done really well.
He's done very well.